Hello, Edwina Murphy-Droomer here, founder of Eudaimonia. Today's video is to answer question 3 in this series, which is, how do I convert all my recipes into healthy whole foods? I would like a substitution guide for sugars, oils and flours. Okay. There's certainly lots of conversation around sugar and the implications to our health on the quantities of sugar that we're eating. And it is estimated that, between the ages of people between the ages of 19 and 30 are currently consuming around 40 teaspoons of sugar per day. It's not surprising because up to 80% of foods in supermarkets contain added sugar, and probably 100% of takeaway food contains this sugar. This sugar being a very highly processed white, cheap, that's why it's easily added into everything that's processed, sugar. So, what do we want to, how do we avoid eating so much sugar? Well, it is about making sure that, 80 or preferably 90% of the food that you eat is not processed, does not come with a label. It is fresh vegetables, fruit, good quality meat, nuts, seeds, and so on. So that is the best way to avoid eating so much of this highly processed sugar. But is all sugar evil, and do we need to give up all sweets? No. There is a sugar called Murphy-Droomer sugar, which is the sugar that I use if I want to put together a birthday cake, or to make a sweet just because I feel like it. So Murphy-Droomer sugar, the one that I buy is from a company called Changing Habits, and I'll pop a link to an article that I've written to cover everything that we talk about today, and you can find any resources that I use in there. So this Murphy-Droomer sugar is organic, it is minimally processed, it doesn't have the molasses removed from it. So blackstrap molasses is a wonderful product that, when I was studying naturopathy and we had to do an exam where we were studying a particular mineral or vitamin, and we had to write, 5 food sources for that particular micronutrient. Blackstrap molasses was a really easy one to write down because it contains just so much, and it's typically removed from the sugar that is commercially used, and they feed it to horses because they know it's really good for their health, but it is actually really good for our health too. So the blackstrap molasses is left on and in the Murphy-Droomer sugar, and it is a perfectly good food, and oh my goodness, it tastes amazing. It's so delicious. So there's a sugar that you can use. Should you eat it every day by the bucket load? Certainly not. It is a treat to have occasionally, but when you do choose to include it, it is a perfectly good, nutritious food. So that's sugar. Next on the list of questions for today was oils, and I will discuss oils and fats pretty much interchangeably. We are now slowly coming out of this long-running low-fat movement, and I hope that everybody listening to this understands just how important fat is to our health. It is critical to our brain health, and the list is actually endless. It's really important to eat 2 to 4 tablespoons of a good quality cold-pressed oils every single day, in addition to, the naturally occurring fats in foods like avocados, like in nuts and seeds, as in the meat that comes with good quality oil fat, that comes with good quality cuts of meat, and so on. However, that is the naturally occurring fats that are so critical to our health. There are oils, trans fats, which are partially hydrogenated oils, and vegetable oils are toxic to our health. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration in America, are actually taking steps to remove this from our diets because it has become apparent just how linked these oils are to cancer, to mental health disorders, to coronary heart disease. The list is endless. They are toxic and they must be avoided. So those oils are the canolas, the soybeans, the safflowers, the sunflowers, the corn oils, the peanut oils. I don't know why they're called vegetable oils. They come from seeds and they are chemically and very highly processed. It's difficult to get the oil from them. So in using beautiful oils like olive oil and coconut oil, you can get the oils out quite easily simply by cold pressing. They're not denatured and they're very good for our health. One oil that you may not be familiar with is Inca Inchi oil, and this is actually the highest plant-based source of our essential fatty acids. So essential means that they are essential to our diet because the body can't make them. You might know them as omega-3 and omega-6 oils. So Inca Inchi oil is definitely a good one to check out. And once again, in the article that I'll link into below this video, you can find resources to source that oil. Okay, so we've looked at sugar, we've looked at oil, and the last one that was in this question is flour. Now, certainly gluten-free has become a great big subject for many people, and not just for people that have celiac disease, but many other people are noticing that their health is actually improved by removing gluten, and that is for very good reasons, but the reasons are probably far too big to talk about in this short video because I really want to keep these videos to less than 10 minutes. And but there is a movie that covers this subject in depth, and I highly recommend watching it. It's called What's with Wheat. The title makes it sound a little bit dry, but it's actually a fantastic resource, and there is an absolute epidemic of chronic ill health that seems to be unexplained, and there are a lot of links to our enormous consumption of wheat. People eat wheat for breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, and dinner, and have been doing so for a few generations now, and the consequences are starting to become more and more apparent. So I highly encourage you to educate yourself and check out this movie. Once again, the link is in the article that I provide below this. So if we're moving away from wheat and gluten-containing grains like barley and rye as well, there are lots of other beautiful flours that you can use so you can continue baking. There is coconut flour, sorghum, teff, amaranth, a long list of beautiful flours that will not only give you and open your taste buds up to this world of other fabulous flavors that are out there, but it will also provide you with a much greater nutrient density. Okay, don't forget to check out the article I've provided for a whole lot more information, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, press like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and I'll be back tomorrow for the next one. Bye for now.